All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Welcome to episode 2 of our Elm Creek Oats and Goats gameplay series. I am the Ultra Farmer, and we've got some fields that need to get worked here in this episode. We've got some goats that we're gonna go pick up from the animal dealer. We got to pick up another couple horses, I'm hoping. And towards the end of the episode, I'm really hoping that we can get into harvesting some of our oats and cutting and baling some of our grass. So, ton of work to do. I don't know what we'll all get to, but let's get started. And let's first get working on some of these fields and the weeds that we got to deal with. So, if you are with us from last episode, from episode 1, good to have you back. Hopefully, you're getting excited about this gameplay series. I definitely am. And what I want to do, just before we get through into the month of April, at the end of last episode, rather, we got our fields planted. We got some oats planted on this field, some grass on the far field over there, and some more oats on this back field. Now, the reason I got this set of weeding units, it's a hoeing unit actually, was for a couple of reasons. One, it's a good price, but two, these units will deal with not only small but medium-sized weeds, and the hoeing unit actually allows us to deal with the weeds before they even pop out of the ground. So if I let this grow through 1 month into April, there would be weeds popping out of it. Even if I come up to the field, I don't know if it tells me on here that there's weeds growing, but they definitely weeds will pop through, and we would have to deal with that. We would have to use it. But if we use this hoeing unit, we can go across this field right now, deal with the weeds before they even pop up, and it's just kind of a bonus. So that's why I get these units. And so what I'm going to do, even, you know what we'll do, because it won't really matter, and we can do it in the same one, but I'll go through and I'll go do this field. I'll do this field, and I won't do that field behind us, and then we'll go through into April, and I'll show you the difference just with the weeds popping up. So I'm just going to go through. I'm going to get the weeds cleared off this field. Again, although they haven't popped up just yet, they will. I promise you they will. Like death, the things to be certain of, they say, are death and taxes and weeds. For sure, and weeds. Like there's no doubt in my mind. So I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna get the weeds cleared off this field, and then I'll bring you back once we're in April, and I'll show you how the weeds didn't pop through on this one, but they will on that other field. Okay, folks, we are back. So as you can see, this field to our right, even though like I tried to set the AI worker to get the weeds off here, and it would say to me like, no, this field's already been worked, and like it's not really, you're not supposed to do it, blah blah blah. And I just did it myself. But if we come over to this field, and as you can see, we come out here, we've got weeds growing. We've got medium weeds growing out here, and we need a hoeing unit to go across and take care of it. So I'm just going to let this AI worker, I'll set an AI worker to get the weeds cleared off this field. But yeah, just so you know, for maybe your own farms that you build and stuff like that, if you didn't know, you can deal with the weeds before they even pop out of the ground with a hoeing unit. I think obviously you could probably, I don't know if you can do it if with spraying pesticide. Maybe let me know in the comment section below. I don't know if I've ever tried to spray, or sorry, not pesticide, but herbicide rather, right after it's planted, to see if that would help deal with the weeds. I'm not too sure, but let's hop out of the tractor here, and we'll let the AI worker go across and get the weeds dealt with on there. Let's jump into this tractor, and I'm just going to fire it up and get this trailer out of the way. I was kind of like messing with this trailer. Last episode, there was something that was kind of jamming out the trigger to allow us to get more horses. It wouldn't show this menu. It just kept going. Yeah, it wouldn't show this menu. But there's a couple things that I want to do here with salt and pepper. First things first is we gotta ride these horses to keep them healthy. So while our field's being worked, I think we take Salt, get come on out. I would jump off and close that gate, but I can't. She'll just jump back into the pen. And we got to go for a run. Maybe we'll run across the farmer's fields. Maybe we won't. Sorry. We don't want to bug the neighbors too much, but we got to do a lap here. I've kind of got a lap figured out. If we come down along this field here, maybe we could scope out some of the farmer's fields here. It's like I said, my uncle used to farm some of this land just back to her behind us on the right side there. He used to farm it before with the neighbors. I'm hoping we can eventually start to do that in the future as well. I don't know about over here, but you never know. Never really know. We more just got to get in, just kind of become more of a familiar face around Elm Creek. You know, we're still the new kids on the block, and just kind of a one-man show, although we do have some of the AA workers to give us a hand. And I haven't met this neighbor just yet, but apparently him and his wife are pretty good with horses. So I'm hoping in the future, if we can really, ramp up our horse stables and start breeding some really good horses, that maybe they'll come give us a hand, whether it's training or riding, keeping their fitness and stuff going. I'm hoping that that would work, but again, that's down the road stuff. That's plans for future Ultra Farmer to figure out. Right now, just trying not to fall off this horse and crack my head wide open. Cut through that field there. And yeah, usually when I get around here, actually, I'm just going to open the menu. I'm at 93% there. So usually if I do this lap, it'll get 100% of the riding. And we can just come back in. Maybe we'll just jump the fences here. There we go. Let's jump on in and hop off. Now, I bought myself a brush as well so that we can clean the horse. Yeah, this already brings up the value of salt. Salt's already worth 15 grand. Nice. Hey. How we doing? Don't step on my toes. Do I even have toes? Alright, Pep. Let's put some pep in his step. Whoa, whoa. Got bucked off. Pepper, get over here. Okay. Yeah, put some pep in his step. Take him for a quick lap, as long as we don't run into the trailer. Doesn't really turn on a dime. Pepper's not really, he's kind of a wide turning horse. It means Pepper's not a barrel racing horse. Pepper looks like he's a point and shoot, you know what I mean? That's the type of horse, Kentucky Derby style. Get him in the chutes and then we'll bet him on the trifecta. That's what Pepper is. It doesn't turn too good. That's okay. Point and shoot Pep. So yeah, this is something we're going to have to be doing quite a bit. Until we can hire someone to help with the horses, but that's going to require kind of a more of an elaborate stable stuff in the future. So this is going to be part of our routine for the next bit of, riding these horses, keeping their fitness up, and trying to increase their health. Now, I've said this a couple times now, I really got to get a mare in that pen that's at that she's at her maturity level so that we can start breeding some younger horses as well. And as much as I don't want to sell off Salt and Pepper, when they become a good value, we will be selling them off, and we'll have to get some other ones. Maybe we'll just keep naming them after baked goods. We'll name one Brown Sugar. We'll name one Flour, Cracked Egg, Eggshell. Yeah, we'll figure it all out. We'll figure it all out. I don't know how many horses I can name after some sort of a baked good. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Apple pie and stuff. Yeah, we'll get it. The goats. I also really want to get some goats, and it's kind of the same game where I want to get them at really good, just genetic value, so that we can start breeding some good goats, and that's kind of going to be the name of the game. Landed right in that tree. All right, Pep. Let's brush you off. And there we go. Not too bad, buddy. You're looking pretty sharp. Looking pretty sharp out there. All the other horses were looking. They're like, who's that one? Yep. Now they know. 100%. Okay, let's clean this, or let's shut this before anyone decides to go for a walk on their own. Okay, the horses are good to go for a little bit. Let's check back in. Perfect. The weeds are all done. Love to see that. Now, we shouldn't have weeds on the grass field. Don't usually have weeds on the grass field. But let's check in here. We're going to have to probably put some more fertilizer down and get some more nitrogen. Well, this nitrogen says it's perfect. The pH is bad, though. Well, in some spots. Okay, our nitrogen is saying it's good. I'm not gonna mess with this field anymore from a nitrogen standpoint. I'm getting good. Our pH value over here it's just that silty clay. It's so trash, really, like, if I'm being honest. Okay, what about this nitrogen level? I'm going to go back into our precision farming map here and see if we can... Soil samples taken. Let's nitrogen. So maybe our grass field, like this looks good. This is yellow. I mean, it's not gonna, for right now it's gonna be good. I don't think adding any more Because it's telling me that it's perfect right now. I don't want to mess with it if I'm getting a notification that says it's perfect, even if it kind of seems a little weird in the map. But let's go check our grass field because this one still shows that it's pretty red. pH, nitrogen, good. Well, I think we're just gonna have to roll with it. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna roll with it for now. Expected yield 77%, yield potential 80. Let me go back in and just take a look. Like, this is telling me, well, I'm just gonna roll with it right now because the notifications that we're getting on the field itself are fine. So I think we just go with it. The other thing that I don't understand too much is our seed rate. It's saying it's really high on this. Is that just what we had to put down? Yeah, it must be. I don't know if that's a bad thing or a good thing. All I know is our score is up to 66 and it was at like 50 some. So nitrogen 15, pH value, weed control. I think we just roll with it for now. We're getting good readings on this field and I don't want to mess with anything. Like you start changing too many variables and then you'll just start chasing your tail. So I'm going to fold up this weeding unit. I'm not going to bother about putting any more nitrogen down. One thing that we're definitely going to be able to do in the winter, as I said last time, is we're going to plant some sort of a cover crop. Oh, am I going to sneak through here? Barely. Nice. Yeah, we'll end up planting oilseed radish on the oat fields after we harvest them in the fall or late summer, and we'll let that grow and sit through into February, and then we'll get it cleared off. Now, what I kind of want to buy in the future for that is a mulcher to see if we can mulch off that. I mean, we can use cultivators as well, but I know mulching will help us as well. So if we get a good set of mulching units in the sales, maybe we will. Let's just go down real quick here and take a look. Well, these ones are 21 grand. I mean, what we could do is just do some contracts and stuff throughout the winter and into the fall season, and we'll go pay for a set of these with contracts is what I think our plan's going to be. Speaking of, let's go take a look at contracts. We've got some cultivating ones. Now we got this cultivating one that's right here, right at the farm, and I think we're going to go do that because it's just an extra 2 grand. Why not? This one's a little bit further up north. This one's real close. I think we accept both of these and we work on them. Just because we've got our other John Deere tractors sitting there, the cultivators are sitting there doing nothing. We need to just be, well, we got to pay back mom and dad for sure. So let's accept both those contracts. Um, you know what? We can probably just leave this trailer sitting right there. Actually, let's go park it in a better spot. Let's go park it. I want to have like a consistent spot for this trailer, and I think it's going to be right where we had it. I thought it was in a bad spot before, and it was messing with the triggers, but I think that it was just the game was just being weird for a second, and that's all right. I think this is where I'm basically going to want to be parking this trailer, except I want to do a better job than what I just did. And I don't want to drive on the field too much. So let's get this backed in, and then we're gonna go hook onto those set of cultivators, and we'll go see how good they are. Now, once we get hooked onto the set of cultivators, and I set a worker to go do those fields, then we'll go back and we'll go into the store and we'll go start looking at some horses and goats, and we'll see what we can get for a female horse and see. We might have to go hop in the truck, hook onto that horse trailer, and run down to the animal dealer and grab her, which is fine. I don't think I can get horses and goats at the same time. I don't know if they coexist too nicely in the in the trailer together, but that's all right. We can just go back and forth while these fields are being worked. I mean, this field is not super small, and it looks like it's plowed, so it's weird that it needs to be cultivated, but I'm not running this farm over here, so we'll just roll with it. All right, let's jump back over to the truck. More than likely, we're gonna have to run down to get some horses, so maybe let's just pull this truck over and hook it to our trailer so we can be ready to go. so we can be ready to go. Salt and pepper just chilling in there. All right, let's back up. Okay, we're hooked on. Let's shut this truck off so we're not burning too much fuel. And let's see what we can get. So, it doesn't really matter what I'm looking for. Like, so this horse, Sporty Emma, uh, metabolism's high, health's high, quality's high. It's all really good, except the age is 189 months. So, like, she's just a little too old. Even though it's a super high value, the horse will like it's gonna pass away soon. Like it just is what it is. So I don't want ones around that 189 months. I'd rather run in the 20-month range or a young one with really good numbers. So 12 months, but everything's average. Not really what I'm looking for. This is low. How's Lux looking? Lux isn't too bad. 13 months, everything's pretty high. Not too bad. The only thing I don't understand, and if someone knows in the comment section, let me know. Am I missing something on here of whether it's a female or male? Like, does it say anywhere here? I can't see anything. Do I got to put it on the monitor mode? Age, origin, breeder, quality, weight, fertility, high. I just don't know if I'm obviously missing something. So very bad. We don't want that. Low, very bad. Friendly Duke, how we looking? Thor? Got to live up to that name a little better. Wings, Franco, James, Earl. Espresso? We do like espressos. 22 months old. Okay, so this is kind of what I'm looking for. This is what I'm thinking, you know? It's 5 grand for that horse though. So, but if we go down to Twilight, 23 months, not too bad. Craig, beautiful bud. Whoa, not good. Not good. Oh, Stallion. Okay, so that's probably will do it. Never mind. Never mind. I got it figured out now. So these are good contenders. These are good contenders. But it's 8 grand. Let's go see Inca. 5 grand. What do we got down here? 300 bucks? No. This isn't too bad. Keisha. 2,800 bucks. Ursula. And then we got Stallion. 2,800 bucks for, or 2,900 bucks for Simba. 3 grand. Trooper. Dunn. Brooks and Dunn. 2 grand. Okay, here we go. Here's a good one. Beautiful Taylor, 3 months old, so not at maturity yet, but that's fine. Pretty good quality, and for 1,300 bucks. So I think we get this one. Yeah, I think we'll get that one. Probably not Rocky, but if we go back up to, was it Keisha? 2,400 bucks. Bessie's not doing too good. Yeah, I think that's what we'll probably have to do. I'd like to get espresso, but it's so expensive. Yep, this is where it's gonna be tricky. 1,700 bucks. I mean, we could gamble on wings here a little bit. Do we want to gamble on wings? I think we gamble on wings. Yeah, I think we'll do it. 6 months. I think we could get that up to at least a decent value. And and we could go from there. Okay, I'm gonna call the animal dealer, and I'll get these horses. I'll get them ordered up, and I'll go. I'll run down to the dealer, grab them. I'll come back and put them in the pen, and then what we'll do is we'll go up to the animal dealer together, and we'll look for some goats. Okay, I'm just back here. I just backed the trailer in. I don't really know why, but something's not working when I go to the animal dealer. It's not working at all. As soon as I go and I try and go up there to get any animals, I've done this a couple times though, and it really jams everything out, and then it makes it so that I can't get animals anywhere. It kind of like froze my game, so I had to reboot and now those horses that we wanted, it's like as I reload it up, it's reset the the options in here, and the ones that we wanted aren't available anymore. Blah blah blah. Long story short, so we got to pick some different ones, and I think I don't like now. There's not so many good ones that were kind of younger at a decent price. So what I think I'm gonna do is just get one female. This one's 6 months. I think I'm just gonna get these two. Cost us 8 grand. I'll get them. They'll just immediately go into the barn. They should. Yeah. So, but now we got two in there. I'm just gonna kind of do that for now, and I don't know. We just have to pay the transportation fee. It's unfortunate, but whatever. It is what it is. Let's just go over here because if we want to get goats, we're gonna have to kind of do the same thing. I gotta make sure I don't buy sheep accidentally. Knowing me, I will. So we don't really have too many options in here. Both not very good options at all. Except this one's really high. It's a month old. This one's average and good. I think we'll just do this. Now, since the... Let me look at this. This one we'll definitely get. Buy selected. We got one. Where's he at? There he is. How you doing, little guy? You're going to be a champion around here. I believe in you. Yeah. The barn is yours for now. Okay, so these ones are both really bad. Now, since I can't go up to the animal dealer, what I am able to do is I can reset this and I can turn this up a little bit. So let's do that. And since we can't, yeah, usually you can go up to the animal dealer and there's way more options, but we don't have that luxury right now. Okay, so this goat's 12 months old. Pretty good stats. 10 months old. 3 months old. So that's a young one. So we could get this one and this one. Those look good so far. Not what we're looking for. Not too bad. 2 months old. This one's 6 months old. We could get that one. I mean, this one's really young and it's pretty good. Let's just get those. There. I think that'll be good for now. We'll just keep coming back and checking as it resets. I don't want to get these. Like, that's really bad quality, really bad health. We don't want anything with that. And we got a few goats. We got, this one will be Sensei. And then we got some little senpais in here. Just giving her. I don't know what this one's doing. Which number is this guy? Farm ID 150032. All right. He's fired up. Look at him. That's a race goat right there. Look at him. Unbelievable. Yeah. Well, there we go. We've got oats planted and we officially have goats. So we basically did... Whoa, that one's bucking around. Look at this one. That's a rodeo goat right there. Yeah, look at him. That's a bucking goat. All right, you keep doing you, little man. All right, let's go check on our cultivating unit out here. Not too bad. 75% done this field. That'll be some extra cash. Let's go take a look at the contracts and see if any other new ones popped up. No, just this one that's way up there. Or harvesting ones. We do have a combine, so we can always do that. So potatoes we can't do, spinach, carrots, parsnips. Yeah, I mean, we're in the spring. We're not even middle of summer, so there's not really going to be too many like wheat or barley or anything fields like that are going. Hoeing contracts. We got hoeing contracts on these fields as well that we could do. Which fields is that? Oh, 21. Sorry. So a hoeing contract on 21, plowing on 53. We do have a set of plows. That's kind of far away from the farm. That's, yeah, not really worth going to do for 1,300 bucks. Stone picking, weeding. The thing with weeding contracts is our hoeing unit actually won't... I don't think it'll actually pull the weeds, to be honest, on these contracts. If it's on your field, it will, but the weeding and the hoeing contracts are very specific. You can use a hoe for weeds on your farm, but I don't think you can on contracts. I don't think. I don't want to accept it and then have to decline it. Yeah, this one's kind of far away. I don't know if I feel like going up to 68. That's like up here somewhere. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I could always kind of do that one off camera or something just to make a little extra cash. We spent 8 grand on horses and then like 1,600 bucks. We're down like 10 grand on animals, so we got to make that up with contracts to kind of get back to square. But that's fine. Having these cultivators will help over the years of just kind of going and getting these contracts done here and there. They're 6 meters wide, which isn't obviously the widest, but I mean, you get what you get when we're starting out, right? We can't start out with 700 horse tractors and 18-meter wide cultivators. It's just not what we can do. Okay, so I'm gonna take this truck since we can't really do anything with that trailer. I'm just gonna go park our truck back over kind of by the house. Our fields are looking good. Like I said, we're not going to mess with them with any of the nitrogen for right now. I'll just try and add a good amount of nitrogen with our cover crops in the fall. Kind of got to find a better spot for those planters, but I don't really know where just yet. Let's fire this unit up. Now, what we're going to need, not really yet, but I'm excited to test out that mower, that winged mower, just to see how that works. Hopefully it goes good. Almost wish I had another set of cultivators and we could hook onto the little 3650, but we don't really got that many that we could pair on that tractor. The cultivators that I would like to get at some point, like I want us to be able to get a little bit bigger of a tractor. Um, these tractors are 58,000, not actually though, because if we want to get the bigger horsepower, they're around 80 grand. And I kind of like this one too because it's got a front PTO. Those other ones don't have a front PTO. I got some mods in here that could kind of help us as well, but nothing too crazy. What size do these go up to? 190. That just is 190. I think 195. These will go up to... Oh, that one goes up to 305. I thought that one only went up to 210. It must be this one that only goes up to 210. Yeah, okay. But yeah, ideally if we could get snagged one of these tractors, or there's a red one right there, around 90K for the bigger engines, that'll give us 225 horse. And the cultivators that I would want us to get are these Prolander 7500s. Because they're 7.5 meters wide and they only require 190 horse. So it's a pretty good set of cultivators for pretty good working with. Yeah, these ones are cool as well because they fertilize at the same time, but you need like 300 horse. So maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. I will just rent one of these if we need. This is the only implement that I'm allowing us to rent. The rest we have to buy. I want to get rollers, but I'm just still being a little bit careful with money until we get this first year done. Okay, that contract is complete, even though it doesn't let us finish the field. Now we're going to jump on this one. I'm going to set a worker. We're still good on fuel. Even with the fuel usage set to high, that really didn't burn that much fuel. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, I'm just gonna let this tractor get through these contracts, and that's probably all we're gonna end up doing for this month. So I'm gonna let these workers keep going, get these contracts done, and then I'll bring you back in May, and we'll be checking on. You know, we got to be riding the horses. I might even bring you back in June when we're ready to start cutting and baling hay. Yeah, that's probably what I'll do. I'll just get through the next couple months. I'll ride the horses and stuff to keep their fitness up, and I'll see. I don't know the max value at which we're going to be able to get salt and pepper to, but we got to be watching and kind of planning when we're going to sell old salt and pepper. But their value's getting pretty good. Like when I was brushing pepper, it was at like 16, 17,000 we're going to be getting to over these next couple months, which is pretty crazy. So we just got to keep their health up. Hopefully they'll reproduce in the next few months since everybody's at their maturity levels. And yeah, we can keep the good times rolling. So yeah, I'll bring you back in June-ish, and we'll start cutting and baling hay. All right, we are back here. It is June. Our fields are coming along nicely. I kind of waited to accept these contracts just so you could see us collect that one and collect that one. And I don't even know if there's any other ones we could go do. Owing. Plowing, if we want some supply ones. Harvesting, potatoes, spinach, carrots. Nope, nothing that we want to do. What we want to do is get hooked onto this mower. and start cutting and baling some grass. So if I can back into the barn here, it's a big if. Hooked on to this mower. Just looks like a fancy, really fancy sickle bar mower or something. Like, let's get it unfolded and take a look at it. Not too bad, not too shabby, as they say. Let's go over to our grass field. So I don't really know how many bales we're going to get off this. I can't remember how many liters are in a 180 centimeter bale. Maybe like 6,000. I don't know. We might get like 3 or 4 bales off this field. Maybe 4 or 5. Let's open the menu here. I'm just looking to see if there's any other, if it has like a swathing mode. Not that I thought that it did, but you never know. Might as well check it out. Alright, let's get set up. One thing I don't remember doing is, I wonder if I've got it. Okay, it's telling me it's a 3-meter offset and it's auto. It seems like it already knows. Is that what I got to do? I got to be on that line? That's what it looks like. Let's just try it. What's the worst that's going to happen here, hey? Nothing ventured, nothing gained on this. Kind of can't tell where our grass field ends and just the other grass is, so I don't think it really matters. This thing goes quick, though. I like that. That is really quick. Drop that down. Oh, yeah. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. This thing goes fast. Like, really, it seems like it goes faster. Maybe I'm just not used to it, but... I think I gotta get into... Yeah, that one right there. Got a time when I drop my wing down, so it's just perfect. I've never used one of these side ones before, so this is a little bit different, but I like it. It goes like 15 miles an hour. That's some fast mowing right there. This will be pretty good for us. This will be pretty good for us because we won't really need like crazy amounts of hay. Like once we get the animals set a little bit, they'll be pretty good to go. They're not really going to eat too much hay, like especially the horses. The horses will be just fine. Speaking of the horses, somehow we lost Salt. I don't know. Salt's just gone. Said it was removed from the barn due to an accident or something like that. I'm not too sure what happened. But I also think what we're going to have to do is look in and see if I can hire some sort of a manager to kind of ride and take care of the horses. So I'm going to make some calls and stuff around to... I'm going to call that one neighbor out there that is able to manage horses and just see what we can do to get them in to give us a hand, because I'm not sure why we lost Salt. Salt is gone, though, and I don't want that to happen again. Plus, it's going to be better if we can have someone that's kind of hired on to ride the horses and do all that stuff. So I don't really know how it'll all work out right now, but I will try and get some sort of a helper in the future to come give us a hand with the horses. That's my plan. But other than that, everything's good. The goats are doing just fine. They're not really like producing milk or anything. There's not really much to report with the goats, to be honest, just because there's not enough of them for it to like really be anything to write home about, if that makes sense. But the goats are doing good. I'm still just going to kind of wait to buy any more of anything, to be honest, till we get probably through at least 1 year of just getting through like a cycle on the farm. Just kind of seeing how everything goes for 1 year, like how much oats we're going to get. I have no idea what we're going to get for a yield of oats. I have no idea how many bales of hay we're going to get off this field, and then how many cuts we'll get per year. Right, like it's June right now, so we should be able to get another cut in not July, not August, maybe September. And then that's probably it for this year. Next year we'll be able to get a cut a bit earlier in the spring, probably like March-ish. We'll be able to get a cut / April. We should be able to get about 3 cuts a year when everything's, like when grass is regrowing good in the springtime. That being said, though, I don't know if we're going to have to, like, not that it'll really affect, like, the growth cycles or anything, but I don't know if we're going to have to plow this field or kind of mess around anymore to get the pH levels better, get the nitrogen up, or any of that stuff. I'm not 100% sure when it comes to a grass field what we'll have to do. Is this going to lift up for us? There we go. Jeez, I don't know why that's not... Oh, that's probably why. Okay, there we go. I don't know why the mower wasn't lifting up there for a second, but I had it set on the tractor, so that's why. This thing works pretty good, though. Yeah, I still can't believe how fast it rips across the ground. Sheesh. Good lord. Love to see it. Absolutely love to see it. I'm excited to just to use all our equipment and try it all out. It'll be pretty good. Pretty good. And like I said, this thing works pretty not too bad. This tractor's a little underpowered. I mean, we do have that other one that we could use, but I wanted to see how the 3650 did everything with this mower. The other implements will run it pretty good, like the windrowers and stuff. That'll be fine. Those don't really require much horsepower at all. 60, 70 horse really to run those. Maybe even less with the tedders. They don't really, quote-unquote, do anything, so that's good. All right, let's get this last little bit right there. All right, there we go. Okay, not too bad. The first grass field is cut. Well, the first field in general has been harvested, so that is what I would say is a success. We did it. Now let's go park this thing back in here. It's kind of tight quarters in here, but luckily this is a small tractor, so... Drop that right there. See if we can get... Oh, run into that post. No big deal. Alright, we're in business. We are in business. Not too shabby. Not too shabby at all. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set a worker just to get this field tedded up for us. And we'll get her nice and windrowed. So let's get a worker going on this. I'm going to jump over to this tractor and fire up and just go grab the windrowers. I'm not sure if I'll use this tractor to windrow or what, but it doesn't really matter. They are way on the other side there. Let's go for the long one. So yeah, I'll get everything kind of tedded and windrowed for us, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll test out that new baler together. I've never used that baler before, so we'll test it out, see how it works, see if there's anything crazy with it. I mean, there shouldn't be, but you never know. You never know with us. So yeah, I'll bring you back kind of when we start baling. All right, I'm just coming back over with the windrowers. Like, these windrowers worked pretty good. Not too bad, but that field's like a little bit annoying to work them around. It's kind of tight quarters and stuff over there. So when we can get a different field, it would be better to do different field and grass where we got a little bit more room. It's just you try and, like, the AI workers get all jammed out trying to, like, turn this thing around, but they work pretty good. They actually work really good. But yeah, so out of 10, 6.5, maybe 7. Yeah, 6.5, 7, depends what mood I'm in, you know what I mean? All right, let's go get hooked onto the baler and let's test this baler out. This is more what I'm the most excited for, just because I never used this one before. Don't know if it works good, don't know if we're going to be upset and want to sell it immediately. But we can't, because then we can't really afford to buy anything else because we're poor. You know what I mean? But I'm going to be hopeful, right? I'm going to be hopeful because it looks like it's going to work good. We're going to unfold it. Yeah, that's a good sign right there. Okay, so let's open our menu. And let's drop it down. Yeah, I just want to go on the smallest bale size and just see how that goes. So let's close this. And let's go to town. Let's bale this field. I'm also excited to kind of see what kind of state the field's in after, like with the nitrogen and all that stuff. Yeah, like see down here, like I was like kind of running into the fence a little bit, which made things a bit awkward to deal with. Well, let's back this baler up. Yeah, see, I was running into the fence, just kind of like that. You might have to get that little spot later on. You see what I mean? Like, it's like a little bit weird, tight quarters down here. It's kind of hard to mess with. It almost would be better if this was just like oats down here, but even then, I don't know what it'll be like with the combine, but we'll get it figured out. We'll get everything figured out. It's the first grow at Uncle's new farm. I don't really know. I don't remember exactly how everything went, so we'll get it sorted. All in all, not too bad. Okay, at least we got like at least one bale popping out of there. Oh, who planted these trees there? And now we're on that field. Oh god, this is about to be a disaster. We can't run on that field. Oh god. Okay. Baling has turned out to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, well, stand by. I'll get everything sorted here, and I'll bring you back when we're not in a complete nightmare. Oh, yeah, I'll get this sorted. Okay, we're back. That was way harder to deal with than I originally thought. I had to like go get the other tractor and like run into it. Not a super success baling here, but the baler seems to work really good, which is a bonus, which is a super bonus. I'll come back and get all these spots, I think, after. The baler's probably just a little bit too big, but that's good. Just like kind of everything with tractors and stuff, it's always better to have a little bit too much horsepower than not enough. So even if this baler's just a little bit too big for us right now, that's okay because we'll eventually grow into it and it'll be perfect. And then we'll outgrow it and we'll get a new one. So I think I would consider this a W for sure. It's a win. I thought we would get more bales off this field, but I also did not know how many liters were going to go into each 180 centimeter bale. I actually had no idea. So I'm going to kind of spin around here. Try and get this last little bit. There we go. Okay, we got one out of there. And then I'm hoping I can unload early these last, like, 1.5 that are in there. Because we obviously got another full one. And this is where the madness happened. Okay, let's pick this, the pickup arm up. We'll spin around. Shut this baler off. Actually, we might have to turn it back on to spit these out. But I'm going to try and do it over here. There we go, yeah. We actually have to turn them off to spit those bales out early. Okay. I'm going to fold this unit up. And I think I can spin right around. And we'll pull through the shop, or through the barn rather, on this other side. There are the goats. Our rodeo goats. Yeah, it's a little bit too big of a baler, but again, that's a good problem for us to have. And I'm going to pull this up quite a bit more, to be honest. So then it's a little bit easier to go in and out of that barn. But let's hook onto this, or let's get this tractor fired up. Spin around here. I'll drop that weight off, and we'll hook onto our front loaders here, and we'll get our bale spike going, and we'll get our bales. Now, I'm thinking what I'll do. Well, I'll definitely grab this one and put it in the horse barn right now. Actually, maybe I'll grab both of these. Or no, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter, yeah. It's the same difference. We'll grab this one. Drop it in here for the horses. And we'll go get this other one, and I'll drop it in the goat barn just to make sure we're good to go. There was a little bit of food in that goat barn, so this should last them quite a while, actually, to be honest. Oh, wait, before we do it, let's jump out. 6,000 liters. Okay, perfect. 6,000 liters for the 180 centimeter square bales. Yeah, I think down the road it'll be just more ideal. We just got to get a bigger grass field and keep all of these fields in here in oats and get us a bigger grass field. So, that being said, let's take this over to the goats. Go see how everyone's doing over here. Let's go see how everyone's doing. Boys, how we doing? It's our rodeo goat. How we doing? Nice. We gotta get you some more friends in here. Let's see who's around. We always gotta kind of come over here and just take a look. What do we got here? Extremely high. Look at this. 590 bucks. I think we get that one right there. That's a good goat. Not too bad. Goat ram. Not great. Not great. Just average. So that's fine. This is just what we're going to have to do every time we kind of pop over here is just come take a look, see who's around. We got 6 goats in here, so it's officially a party. Let's back this tractor up and go park this thing away. Try not to run over our oat field. And what I want to do now, pull this out of the way. A couple things that we're going to have to do. First, I want to go into the map and I want to check out and just see like what the map is looking like for that field that we just harvested. Did anything change to the composition of the soil or anything? Let's drop that off. There we go. I'm just gonna back this tractor. Actually, let's leave it right there. Let's go into our map. Let's check some contracts while we're in here. Okay, so look at this. Our environmental score is at 91 now on this field. So that's good. That's really good. That's way better. pH level. Okay. A lot of it's at 6. A lot of it's at 5.75. So I think that we just wait. The nitrogen's way low. Okay, so we probably got to fertilize this field. That's what I'm thinking, right? Let's come over here and check and just see. Nitrogen, okay. Nitrogen bad, nitrogen bad. Nitrogen, okay. I think we got to just fertilize this field. I think that's what we got to do. We're going to try it out. Let's get hooked onto this. And we won't put any lime down. We won't mess with anything with the lime. But let's go fertilize that field. We'll get hooked onto our fertilizer spreader. And we'll get a little bit of fertilizer down on that field. I'm just going to go with that. That should be good. Shouldn't need more than 1,000 liters to get this field done. But we'll see. We'll test this out because it seems like our nitrogen's low. We're obviously not going to be planting anything on this again. Let's set a worker to do that. And what I want to do is I want to come in and I want to check and see. Okay, so the field value of this is 56,000. How much is this one? Wait, is that what it is to buy? Hold up. Hold up. $56,000 to buy that field, okay? How much is this one? This one's only 50. How much is this one? 64. Okay. So that's what we got to do now. We got to work on some contracts and stuff and see if we can get one of these fields. That's loamy sand is what we're thinking. Loamy sand and some silty clay. Okay, so I'm thinking what I want to get is this one next. Between these two, well, we'll obviously try and get both of these, but if we can get this one for sure is going to be the next goal, and hopefully this could become our grass field, and we could just keep this in oats up there, because it'll probably be a little bit easier to deal with on the oat side of things with just the combine. Why isn't our worker going here? Okay, maybe we won't put any nitrogen down. I'm just gonna do a little bit and see what's up. Whew. pH bad. Oh God. pH value, nitrogen. Okay, maybe I'll wait to do that. Maybe I don't want to mess with anything too much. Maybe let it get a growth cycle in first before I start going through and messing everything up. I want to just see what it says in the top. 1 second here. Let's read this through. Using target for wheat on silty clay, but that's not really what we want, right? Change nitrogen reference value. Grass on silty clay. Jeez, gotta make that a little bit bigger to read. Can we change that? Am I getting old? Do I gotta change the font on my phone? Is that what's going on right now? I didn't think it would happen this soon. Additional settings, graphic, display. It's like I can barely read what that says. Long grain rice on silty clay. Grass on silty clay. That's what we're gonna try. Nope, it's not gonna work. That's all right. Let's just try a little bit more here and just see. Nothing even came out. Nitrogen, okay. I don't see it changing on the map at all, though. We're either doing a good job or we're messing everything up big time. Nitrogen, okay. Yeah. You know what? I think I'm just going to wait and we'll let a growth cycle go through because we can always fertilize it after. And I'll get that setting set perfect because we got to switch and figure out exactly what's going on. But, okay. I think what we're going to do there is we're going to end the episode kind of at that point. I'll get this sorted and we'll deal with that after. And then next episode, what we'll be definitely doing is we're definitely going to be harvesting this wheat or this oat field, which I'll be excited for. So we'll bust out the combine and we'll see what we can do with this oat field. Also, what we're going to be keeping to watch for is different contracts. Maybe we will go do some of these different contracts, get one of these plowing contracts done. That's at 17. That's not too far from us, although that's not a small field, but we could go get that plowing done. This one's a bit further away. It's actually just south of that. This one's right here, and that field is just down there, number 53. But we got to save up for another field. So that's kind of the next thing. Get another field, get more animals, and try to figure out this precision farming to make sure that we're getting the exact nitrogen levels and pH levels for the ground that we have. So I'll get that all set and we'll hammer it next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it like always. I hope you have a good afternoon, morning, evening, whenever it is that you're watching this. We're still on the way to getting 1,000 subs. So if you are so inclined to help us out, I would really appreciate it if you could hit that sub button, notification bell, and like button, all that stuff, the normal stuff I ask every episode. If you have done all those things and you do all that stuff for us on these episodes, just know how much I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I love you guys all. All right, I'm Ultra Farmer. I am out, and I'll see you guys on the next episode.